everyone, welcome back with another video. This time this is another episode 1 review because the fall season of anime has started. This is my first one out of at least 5 that I plan on doing, alright. And this is my episode 1 review of Kill La Kill, which is by Studio Trigger, and it has the same production team, I believe animation team as well, that worked on animes like Gurren Lagann and Fooly Cooly. Already, like, I hated Fooly Cooly. If you saw my review of it, like, then you know how much I despised it. And I've never seen Gurren Lagann, but it looks really awesome. So that's a plus right there, but it's kind of a minus for me if I didn't like Fooly Cooly. And it's by the same people. Basically, it's by people who left, well, mainly one guy who left Gainax and created Studio Trigger, and a few of his previous co-workers followed him, I guess. So yeah, first off, I just want to say, like, whenever people say this episode was amazing, I agree with them, but I don't think it was perfect like most people are saying. I didn't enjoy it as much as everyone else did, but I still think it was pretty amazing. And so I'm just going to read off a brief synopsis here before I get into my review. Alright. But this episode's called If Only I Had Thorns Like a Thistle. In a school called Honoji Academy, students live in fear of the student council, who use powerful uniforms known as Goku uniforms to wield incredible power. A determined girl named Ryoko Matoi transfers into this school and meets her classmate Mako Mankanshoku. Ryoko decides to confront the student council president, Satsuki Kiryuin, revealing she is looking for the owner of the other half of a giant red scissor blade she wields. However, Ryoko is put at a huge disadvantage against the boxing club captain, Takaharu Fukuroda, and his 2-star Goku uniform, and is forced to escape. Basically, we know so far that there's 3 different power levels of Goku uniforms. There's the 1-star, which is the weakest, the 2-star, and then the 3-star, which, as far as we know so far, is the strongest. There might be stronger. In fact, since it's only episode 1, I'm kind of expecting it. Alright. As Ryoko laments her defeat, she finds herself in a strange room underneath her house, where she discovers a living sailor uniform named Senketsu, who forces her to put him on. The next day, as the student council prepares to execute Mako for treason, which I didn't really get that part at all, Ryoko arrives to rescue her and confronts Fukuroda again, this time managing to defeat him thanks to Senketsu's power. As Satsuki questions her after the battle, Ryoko reveals the uniform was a memento from her father, who was killed by the owner of the scissor blade. And that sums up what happened in this episode. So, first off, getting to things I like, it was really funny, although, how should I put this, it wasn't like the most funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, the humor did seem very cliche at times, and kind of turned me away, and this is anime, and in terms of anime, I've seen things that are a lot fucking weirder, but it was still really funny, especially that scene where Ryoko discovers the sailor suit, and it forces itself onto her. No sexual joke intended. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious, I have to admit. Alright. And there were some other jokes here and there in the episode that I did really like. But some of them still did seem very cliche, and this is not nearly the weirdest anime I've ever fucking seen. So now the animation is very fluid, but at times it seems really choppy, and that felt kind of off-putting. Not so much so as saying Fooly Cooley, where I literally could not depict what was fucking going on screen half the time. Okay? It's not that bad. It's not that choppy, but it's still choppy at times, and it did kind of throw me off. And the art also reminds me of Fooly Cooley. A lot of this does remind me of Fooly Cooley, especially in terms of like the art and animation and how crazy it can get. The only difference is this is good. Okay. So yeah. Now, in terms of the music and soundtrack, it was okay. It wasn't much to speak of. Like, I don't really remember any tracks, and they didn't even have an opening in this episode for some reason. Alright, so yeah, there's going to be no live that's why I didn't put out a live reaction of the opening first, because there is no opening. Alright, and the ending, I'll do a live reaction of it hopefully right after I get this video up. But so I haven't actually seen the ending yet, but the music isn't really much to speak of. It's just okay, if that. No memorable tracks at all. Okay, so yeah. And with series like this, like, you know, the music strongly reminded me of Fooly Cooley. This is the most similarity I will make to Fooly Cooley with this series, is that both series have no memorable tracks as far as I'm concerned, which is kind of disappointing. Alright, now, as far as the plot goes, it seems pretty straightforward, you know. It's a standard revenge story with a strong female character, which is good. But other than being a strong female character, which granted you don't see too often, Ryoko's a pretty cliched character. Alright, not really a whole lot to say except that she's a strong female character, which is a good thing, mind you. But that's really the only thing to say about her that's worthwhile. Alright, but it does look like it'll be a pretty good series, though. Alright, so yeah, but like I said before, I didn't think this was a perfect episode like a lot of people say. I don't know if it'll be my favorite anime of the fall or not, but this is one of those anime where I think the hype definitely doesn't deserve it, because this is one of the most hyped anime, probably the most hyped anime of the season, one of the most hyped anime of the year so far. I definitely don't think it deserves it. The animation is just way too choppy at times. Alright, and there's no memorable musical tracks. And another problem I had with it was that it went so fast, like so much happened in this one episode. It went so fast that it was hard for me to read the subtitles sometimes, which is not a good thing. Like, I had to watch this episode 3 fucking times in order to fully understand what was going on. That's not good, okay? So yeah, it went way too fast. And so it was hard for me to read the subtitles at times. So I had to watch it 3 times? No. That's not good. Alright. So that's another problem that I had with it. I really hope that some of these problems are fixed in future episodes. Or else I will be really disappointed. That doesn't mean it'll be bad necessarily. I just don't want to have to watch every single episode 3 times. Alright, so yeah. But anyways, that about wraps up for this review though. Episode rating overall, it was a good episode. In fact, it was a really good episode. The biggest thing is the comedy in a series like this, obviously. And like I said before, although some of the jokes did seem really cliche, I didn't laugh at every joke, but there were some of the jokes where I laughed hysterically. Alright. You know, like that one with the sailor uniform that I mentioned. Also, there was one where Ryoko was running really fast and she stole the like motorcycle of this delivery man, and he yells out, "How am I supposed to do my deliveries?" And then she comes back really quickly, drops off his delivery thing, whatever the fuck he was delivering, and then drives away again. That was really funny as well. So there were quite a few jokes in here that I laughed at, but quite a few that I didn't as well because of how cliche they were. Alright. So, yes. Anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.